Hi everyone. I just wanted to share some things that have been coming through for me. I have been receiving messages about water, and I just realized today it's been happening for 2 years. But it just recently accelerated for me, and I've been getting a lot of synchronicities around hexagons and just trying to figure it out, and I finally feel like I put some puzzle pieces together. And I also realize I'll never figure it out, but some cool stuff came through that I just wanted to share. So this is all really simple, and I tend to, I don't know if I overcomplicate things. I think I just find a lot of joy in following the breadcrumbs and trying to understand, trying to have a deep understanding of things. So it's about bringing peace to yourself, and with that bringing peace to the world and peace to others. So if you look at water on the, in the microcosm, on the smaller scale, water that falls from nature, like rain, and then the water in the rivers and the lakes and the ocean, it has a natural molecular structure of a hexagon. Like if you look at a snowflake, they're each individual, unique, crystallized forms of different hexagons, crystallized water. And so a lot of you probably know about the scientist Dr. Masaru Emoto. He did studies where he put the word love on a glass of water and the word hate on a glass of water. And the water that had love on it, when it was frozen and looked at under a microscope, formed all of these beautiful patterns, like the snowflakes. And the water that had hate on it was fractured and static and had no order to it. So he proved through that study that our intentions and our words can affect the structure of water. And there's also a woman I recently found named Veda Austin, and she does these same experiments. I don't even think she uses a microscope. She puts certain words or intentions or plays songs to water and then freezes them and then takes pictures and observes the patterns that are made. And she has actually discovered that you can repeat this study with the same words and get the same image a lot of times. So this shows us that water holds information. So something that I've been experiencing the past couple of months is I've been going for walks in areas like this. I'm really fortunate. This is my backyard. But I've been going lots of places where there's brooks and flowing water, and I've just felt drawn to the sounds of these little falls. And I'll go and I'll sit and I'll just absorb the frequencies that I'm hearing. And so there's all these different frequencies that come through as you're walking by, and when you stop and just listen to one little area, you'll hear several different levels of sound. So for example, a really heavy flow of water hitting a rock, it's like crashing onto the rock. It's sort of abrasive, right? And when I hear that, I feel things being broken up, all the structures, all the stuck things being broken apart in my body. And then I'll go listen to an area where the water is flowing into a deep pool. It's really falling. It's so hard to describe in words, but it's falling into a deep pool, and it has this deep bubbling, a deeper, blah, 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 blah. You just have to hear it to kind of know what I mean. But, or think of your bathtub when you're filling your bathtub up and it's kind of got that deeper sound to it versus the waterfall. It's like shh. So the deep sound, I feel, is stirring up all the muck in the bottom, and it's getting into those really deep crevices where things need to be stirred up. And then I like to go listen to a calm stream, more like this. This waterfall has a little bit of a deep bubble. I don't know if you can hear it on this video, but there's a steadier flow beyond that, and it's smooth and it's healing. So when I listen to that, I just feel like it's smoothing over everything that was just broken up and repairing it and healing it and restructuring it. So when I walk away from this experience, I feel like all of my cells have been cleansed. I feel peaceful, relaxed, just all loved up. It's a really nice feeling. So that being said, you don't have to do all of that. I just wanted to explain my process of how I started thinking about this more and my experience. But it can be as simple as sending those feelings to your glass of water you're drinking, because you can restructure it. And then our bodies, I don't know if I mentioned this, but our bodies are made of 70% water. So this water that you drink is going to connect that information, relay that information to your body, and put you in a more in a state of homeostasis, you know? So what then happens when we are around other people and we're in that state versus a state of anxiety or fear, fragmentation, you know? I feel like that energy is transferred to the people around us. Because if we're exuding that, then it must be impressing their cells with that information and those feelings. So yeah, that's kind of the microcosm of it. Now, if you want to look, and you could even say that meditation does that, right? Like just clearing the mind and thinking peaceful thoughts. This is just another way, this is just another modality. And I like it because it brings a physical aspect to us, which can be a little easier for humans to work with. And also, like, it's here for us. You know, nature provides this for us. On the macrocosm, let's think about water. Water, okay, rain falls and it fills all the little streams and the brooks and the rivers, and then it flows out to the ocean. And the ocean connects every landmass in the world. So what if when you're passing by a body of water, you send peace or love or gratitude? That's gonna make its way out. And I do feel that nature inherently already holds that, the natural water, but you think about also what, you know, how we pollute the earth and the water. It needs healing. There was a scientist named Viktor Schauberger who used to meditate with the water. I relate to him because he would go sit and meditate with the water as a kid, and his consciousness would flow into the water, and when it would come back, he would have all of this information about how it works. And I won't get into too much detail of his studies, but he found ways of creating free energy using water and also anti-gravity. But of course, this information was suppressed because people want to make money, you know, which brings me to, I wrote a while ago about water having current. currency. What holds the currency? The banks of the river. Where does that water flow and get deposited to? The ocean. And then I had this question, who wants to own the ocean? Because I'm thinking about how all of our money and stuff flows to these very centralized points and is not then evenly redistributed. So I asked the question, who wants to own the ocean? And it could only be somebody who's trying to play God. And what that comes down to is controlling the currency, and it's not even about the money. It's about energy and control. So how can we be more sovereign bodies of water and hold these structures that are closer to what nature intended, you know, where we could restructure ourselves and restore structure to the earth, where every unique, individual, beautiful little snowflake falls to create a vast blanket of snow. You know, like, that's where I want to get back to is nature and the way things naturally flow. The other thing with the hexagon and with snowflakes is that you have water and structure. It's masculine and feminine, or feminine and masculine, water and structure coming together. It's balance. So yeah, I don't, that's about all I have to share right now. Maybe more will come through, but I just wanted to share that I feel like water could be such a simple healing modality that's like right in front of us. It doesn't need to be complicated. It can be really simple. Okay, one more thing I wanted to say. The reason, I just want to explain like the reason I try to understand things. So Leonardo da Vinci said, to develop a complete mind, study the science of art, study the art of science. Learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. So that's what drives me. And I also wanted to share that I pulled some cards before I came out here, and they're pretty cool. So the first card is Abundance. This is from Denise Linn's Sacred Destiny Oracle deck. And I feel like the message from this is that nature is inherently abundant, and if we can get away from the mentality of lack and get into the mentality of abundance, it will keep flowing to us. And if we didn't hoard resources, there would be enough to go around. And then I got this happiness card, the dolphins swimming through the water. And they just like, dolphins are so joyful and happy, and I feel like this card has come up 3 days in a row, by the way. And the message before was about finding your pod, which I did yesterday. I found some local people. I've lived in this area for 2 years now and haven't really met many people, and I found some like-minded folks, and it made me so happy. Like, my cup overrunneth, you know? And then the security card. And this is like a cave with ancient drawings, and then you can see the cosmos through the ceiling. And I feel like this is reminding us to connect to our ancestors, our galactic family, source, whatever it is that you believe in. And it made me think of this ancient rune that came up with these hexagon synchronicities. So I don't know if you're familiar with Norse mythology, but they use runes for divination, and there's symbols, and this symbol is the center of a hexagon. It's like a star. It reminded me of the snowflake, and it stands for connection to all things and protection. And I heard if you're connected, you're protected. So I think that we can trust and ask for protection and help, and acknowledge that side of things. You know, the ancestors, source, God, nature, however you look at it. And the other part is the cave. I feel like the cave is your heart. And I also feel that the hexagon represents the heart space. I've got my hexagon necklace from Stevie at Farmhouse Moon here. Call it my philosopher's stone. And I feel like if you stay in that heart space, that's where you feel safe, you know? So those are all my messages from water today. Please share anything that comes up for you, and please share this video. I think it's really important and could help some people, you know? I hope it helps. So, love you guys.